Georgia. A name that conjures images of dramatic landscapes, ancient cities, and a people whose story is as old as civilization itself. Here, every sunrise over the capital city of Tbilisi seems to whisper tales of centuries past, and every mountain peak stands as a silent witness to the tides of history. This is a land of rugged mountains and ancient traditions, where the past is never far from the present. The villages, with their stone towers and winding lanes, echo with the songs and stories of generations. Nestled in the heart of the Caucasus, Georgia is more than just a country. It is a bridge between continents. Here, Europe and Asia meet, blending cultures, languages, and ideas in a way found nowhere else on Earth. For thousands of years, this crossroads has been a meeting point for empires and cultures. The streets of Tbilisi have seen traders, conquerors, and pilgrims pass through, each leaving their mark on the city's soul. Imagine standing on a high mountain pass, the wind carrying the scent of wildflowers and distant snow. From here you can see the sweep of history, routes once traveled by Silk Road merchants, armies, and explorers. To one side, the Black Sea glimmers in the sunlight, promising connection to distant lands. To the other, the Caspian Sea beckons, a gateway to the mysteries of the East. Georgia's unique geography has always made it a place of passage and possibility. This strategic position brought both great wealth and relentless invaders. Caravans laden with silk and spices once wound their way through these valleys, while armies sought to control the vital corridor between worlds. Romans, Persians, Mongols, Ottomans, and countless others coveted this land. Each left behind traces, fortresses, ruins, and legends that still shape the Georgian identity today. The geography itself tells a story of resilience. The craggy peaks and deep valleys have sheltered the people of Georgia, allowing them to preserve their language, faith, and customs through centuries of upheaval. The mighty Greater Caucasus Mountains to the north act as a natural fortress, standing guard over the land and its people. These mountains have protected Georgia from countless invasions, shaping a culture of independence and pride. This dramatic landscape has shaped the Georgian character, fostering a spirit of resilience, hospitality, and fierce independence. In the highlands, shepherds still tend their flocks as their ancestors did, and traditions are passed down with reverence. Today, Georgia is the vibrant, beating heart of the crossroads, a place where ancient customs and modern life blend seamlessly. The streets pulse with music, laughter, and the energy of a people proud of their heritage. But why is this ancient land known by a name that sounds so Western? The answer lies in the layers of history, language, and legend that have shaped Georgia's identity in the eyes of the world. The story of why it's called Georgia is in many ways the story of Georgia itself, a tale of faith, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a people who have always stood at the crossroads of history. It is a journey through the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of cultures, and the unbreakable will of a nation determined to define itself. Through it all, the Georgian people have always known who they are, rooted in their land, their language, and their unyielding sense of identity. Before it was known to the world as Georgia, this land was called Sakartvelo by its own people. The name Sakartvelo is more than just a word. It is a living testament to the spirit and resilience of a nation that has endured for millennia. Sakartvelo resonates with a deep sense of belonging, echoing through the valleys and mountains, carried in the songs and stories passed down through generations. It is a name that holds the weight of history, culture, and identity. The word itself means the land of the Kartvelians, referring to the ancient people who are the ancestors of modern Georgians. These Kartvelians formed the heart of a civilization that would shape the destiny of the region. Rooted in the central region of Kartli, the Kartvelians built strongholds and communities, eventually uniting under a single kingdom. This unity was not just political but also cultural and spiritual, laying the foundation for a shared national identity. Sakartvelo speaks of a shared heritage, a sense of kinship that binds Georgians together. Through centuries of hardship and triumph, the name has been a symbol of hope and continuity. Today, Sakartvelo connects the present to a distant past, reminding every Georgian of their roots and the journey their ancestors undertook. The name bridges ancient traditions with modern aspirations. As the Georgian principalities gradually united, the name Sakartvelo grew in prominence, symbolizing the dream of a single strong nation. This dream was realized when King Bagrat III was crowned as king of the Abkhazians and Kartvelians, marking a new era in Georgian history. From that moment, Sakartvelo became the official name for the kingdom, a title that embodied the unity and aspirations of its people. The name represented not only political power, but also a flourishing of culture, art and faith, a golden age of unity and creativity. For Georgians, Sakartvelo is more than a historical term. It is the true name of their homeland, cherished in daily life, in celebrations, and in the quiet moments of reflection. It's a name spoken with pride, a self-defined identity that endures through time. Sakartvelo is the soul of Georgia, a word that carries the dreams, struggles, and hopes of an entire nation. In the 4th century, Georgia's name took a turn. A new faith spread, transforming the spiritual life of the people. Christianity arrived not with an army, but through Saint Nino. Her faith and miracles reached the royal court. King Miriam III declared Christianity the state religion. This conversion aligned Georgia with the Roman and Byzantine world. Churches became centers of learning and art. St. George, the dragon slayer, captured the Georgian imagination, his devotion intertwined with the national character. While Georgians embraced a Christian identity, neighbors saw them differently. Persians called the land Gurjistan, likely from a word meaning wolf. Arabs adapted it to Juzan. These names reflected an outsider's perspective. They spread throughout the Islamic world. Turks called it Gurkistan, Russians, Gruzia. All these names share a common Persian root. This Eastern naming tradition is vital. It shows two ways of talking about this nation. In the East, it was the land of the Gurj. In the West, a new name was taking hold. Crusaders traveled eastward, encountering Sakartvelo. They found a devout Christian nation, a bastion of faith. Georgians' veneration for St. George astonished them. For Crusaders, St. George was a revered figure. In Georgia, devotion was on another level. Legends claim St. George led Georgian armies. Crusaders called it the land of St. George. This connection was documented by travelers. The name Georgia began to stick. It linked a distant land to a beloved saint. The name became a shorthand for understanding this kingdom, a reflection of chivalric ideals and mutual recognition. The land of George, the dragon slayer. The link to St. George is powerful, but the story is far more intricate than it first appears. The name Georgia, so closely tied to the legendary Christian martyr, is woven from threads of faith, legend, and centuries of cultural exchange. It is a name that echoes with the footsteps of pilgrims, the prayers of monks, and the ambitions of kings. Yet the true origins of the name are shrouded in the mists of history, shaped by both devotion and misunderstanding. During the Crusades, Western knights and chroniclers popularized the name Georgia, inspired by the veneration of St. George. But the roots of the name may reach even deeper, possibly intertwining with the Persian word Gurjistan, meaning land of the wolves, or perhaps land of the Georgians. As European travelers journeyed through the region, they encountered local names spoken in Persian or Arabic tongues, names that sounded unfamiliar, yet strangely reminiscent of their own beloved St. George. To their ears, these foreign words, Gurjistan, Gurgan, seemed to echo the name George, and so the association grew stronger with every retelling. This folk etymology, born of misunderstanding and fascination, became a bridge between East and West, connecting distant cultures through a shared reverence for a saintly figure. Imagine a merchant hearing the word Gurjistan in a bustling bazaar and picturing a land blessed by St. George, a place of courage, faith, and resilience. In medieval times, Christian devotion to St. George was not just a matter of faith, but a powerful force that shaped the very identity of the nation. The name Georgia became a symbol, instantly recognizable to the Christian world and a source of pride for its people. It served as a calling card in the courts of Europe, opening doors for alliances, trade, and diplomacy, and helping to secure the nation's place on the world stage. The name declared not only cultural and spiritual belonging, but also a steadfast commitment to the Christian faith, even in the face of adversity. For centuries, devotion to St. George was more than a religious practice. It was a survival strategy, a rallying cry, and a source of hope. The name Georgia became both shield and banner, forged in faith and fire, uniting a nation under the watchful gaze of its patron saint. For centuries, dual identity was a fact of life. To the world they are Georgia, at home Sakartvelo. Georgia reflects its global relationship and Christian heritage. Sakartvelo speaks of unique origins and ancient culture. During Soviet domination, Gruzia was the official term, yet Georgia persisted internationally, a subtle resistance. Post-Soviet independence reclaimed Georgia on the world stage. Sakartvelo symbolized national rebirth. The government campaigns for Sakartvelo's official use. The story of Georgia's name is survival and self-assertion. A nation at a crossroads, holding fast to its soul. A name carrying history's weight and future's promise.